Compared to most games, Satisfactory basically has a full-on encyclopedia inside of it. You can easily access information about parts, recipes, and even see a log of voice lines that you've heard. But despite all that, this game is so complex sometimes that more is often needed. And that's where fantastic third-party resources made by passionate community members come into play. Hey everyone, and welcome to Satisfactory News. In this little video, I'm going to talk about a few super helpful tools you can use to aid in your Satisfactory experience. I won't be diving super deep into how to use them, just taking a quick glance and telling you why you might want to use it. This video is mostly for people who aren't aware of these tools yet and want to have some additional resources available to them. If you're watching this video and you already know about all of these, see if there's any questions in the comments from newer players that you can help answer. Or if there's any other resources that I didn't mention that you like to use, go ahead and comment those below. The Satisfactory Wiki is a great source for more information about the game, whether it's recipes, research trees, or even tips and tricks about certain mechanics. Chances are you'll want to start here for any information you need. The Wiki is also probably the one resource here that you have heard about if you've heard of any of these, since it is linked on the main menu of the game. But it's important to note that the official wiki is satisfactory.wiki.gg, not the one on Fandom. At some point the wiki got migrated over, and the old one is no longer updated. Use the wiki.gg site to get the most up-to-date information, and a much better website experience. The awesome team of contributors is great about adding new information about updates or things mentioned on developer streams. It's also a gateway to additional tools and information with all of its many links, like any wiki should be. The Q&A site, also called the QA site, also called questions.satisfactorygame.com, that being its URL, is an official website for Satisfactory where players can report bugs and suggest features. Other users can comment on these posts and upvote them or downvote them. Supposedly, Coffee Stain Studios does read all of them in order to gauge interest in any new ideas as well as to identify issues that they missed. It's pretty easy to search, so be sure to look first to see if someone else has already run into an issue you've seen or has thought of an idea that you've had, so you can avoid adding too much clutter to the site. Satisfactory Calculator is a website with more than one essential tool. The first is the interactive map. This features a complete map of the game with the ability to toggle on map layers including caves and roads, show where collectibles are located, and see every single resource node, with the ability to toggle on and off each resource by purity. This is great for seeing where everything on the map is so that you can better determine where to build your next factory based on what resources you need. You can also upload your save file, which lets you see your entire factory laid out, which is super cool by the way, along with counts of how many of each building you have. You can also use this tool to modify your save file. While you can use it to kind of cheat the game, it is actually useful for certain things. For example, deleting loot crates that you can't find in-game, because maybe they're clipped into something or no matter what you do, you just can't figure out where it is. But you can also move buildings, update their color swatch or material, upgrade belts, change clock speed, and any number of other useful things. You shouldn't need to do any of these things really, but it can be useful to have that ability, and then you just download the modified save file and put that in your save folder. The production planner allows you to select a product and an amount of that product, and the planner will build out what it sees as the ideal network of production buildings. You can also select alternate recipes and even mods that you're using, which will influence the planner. It can be a great way to visualize your factories and look at it in a way that suits you. However, it's not the only tool that does this, and we'll be talking about more of those a little bit later in the video. The Power Planner lets you select a power output target and a generator type or fuel type to quickly calculate how many of a certain power generator you would need to hit that target. You can also see various items in the game as well as map research trees, which you can also see on the wiki, but it's cool that it is all in one place on this website as well. There is also a blueprints library where you can download community blueprints, a mods library that links to different community mods, and even more. This website is a great all-around resource for Satisfactory. Satisfactory Tools offers some similar resources as Satisfactory Calculator when it comes to planning production lines especially. I've seen some reports of some users that have had issues with how Satisfactory Calculator decides some of the production lines, and they prefer Satisfactory Tools for certain tasks. But otherwise, it's kind of a matter of aesthetics and presentation, because they're both laid out a little bit differently. Satisfactory Tools does have one feature that is pretty cool though, which is the Maximize button. This maximizes the resources in the game to make the absolute most of a specified item, which is pretty cool, and I know a lot of people do enjoy doing that. Satisfactory Modeler is a downloadable game that is free on Steam and is similar to the Satisfactory Production Planner from Satisfactory Calculator or Satisfactory Tools, but more robust. Of course, you can visualize your production lines, but you can also start at the end or the beginning of the production chain, giving you more options and flexibility. Some people describe its flexibility as being the closest to using good old pen and paper to write down ideas. Some standout features are being able to use splitters and mergers and prioritize different belts. And just showing belts helps a lot, since other modeling tools simply tell you how many buildings you need and show them all in one stacked cluster, but don't tell you how to transport them to the next stages. They leave that part up to you. So if you want more detailed planning, Satisfactory Modeler is going to be great. It's a great tool for anyone planning a large factory who just needs a little bit more visualization. The Fix-It Inc. Plumbing Manual, a guide to pipelines, is an invaluable resource if you're having trouble with fluids in Satisfactory. It goes into detail about common issues and how to solve them, and was instrumental in the making of my complete fluids guide video. If you're not aware, fluids in this game work really weird, very specifically, and there are some strange rules and also some strange cheats, essentially, that you can employ due to those rules. It's crazy. I highly recommend reading the manual completely. It features a ton of examples, explanations, and visuals, so no matter your preferred learning style, you should be able to take away something from this document. Me personally, I like to see examples, especially when there's numbers involved. It's just kind of gibberish to me unless I can see an example, so all the visual examples in the manual are extremely helpful in letting me visualize how these concepts work. You can pretty easily find it by searching for Satisfactory Plumbing Manual, otherwise there is a link on the pipes page of the wiki. Those are some of my favorite third-party tools that can enhance your Satisfactory experience. Shout out to everyone in the Satisfactory community for all of these awesome resources. If I left anything out, be sure to leave it in the comments and subscribe for more Satisfactory news and guides.